So, here is what I'm thinking for the general timeline of the film from the clips that we have seen thus far. There is some kind of corporate metahuman secret war going on. It's essentially the original Ultimate Marvel universe with all these different organizations trying to create their own super soldiers with powers and abilities. Stag Industries and or Lord Tech, Maxwell Lord is appearing in this film, played by James Gunn, and the suits of the characters in the Terrifics do have the Lord Tech logo on it, has created their own privatized superhero team, the Terrifics or whatever they decide to call them. They're orange, white, and black color themed. Meanwhile, Luthor has his whole ordeal going down via genetics, Metamorpho, the Kaiju, metahuman experiments, Ultraman. According to the rumors, Superman has been active for a handful of years, but it's an existence that he feels alone at. He's an optimistic outcast in a world full of self-entitled super freaks who are more prone to violence and just getting the job done rather than actually keeping people safe. It's Kingdom Come meets What's So Funny About Truth, Justice, and the American Way. I think that the Baravian invasion starts off the film. Superman intervenes in the conflict, which Luthor is profiteering off of. Perhaps Clark Kent is on an assignment there, and he uses that as an excuse to, take care of things. It wouldn't surprise me if the Baravian troops had Luthor Corp battle suits, or even if that camp setup is some kind of Black Ops Luthor Corp command station for the Baravians. And I think that since that starts the film off, that's why Clark is late to work. Eventually, a massive kaiju is unleashed. It's a distraction for Lex and the Authority to break into the Fortress of Solitude. And while this is happening, the Terrifics of Stag Industries come into the fray. They fight the kaiju in a haphazard manner with the exclusion of Mr. Terrific, who might still be a bit reckless, but not to the degree of Hawk Girl or Guy Gardner. Superman, however, actually works to save people before he focuses on the kaiju. Superman realizes there's something wrong with this fight, and or an alarm or signal is sounded that only he can hear from the fortress itself, letting him know that Lex has broken in. And realizing that there's more important things to worry about right now, like someone breaking into the fortress, he leaves mid-battle, leaving Metropolis alone to fight this giant monster with only the Terrifics at hand. Where Superman returns to the Fortress of Solitude. Note the suit, it's charred over from the fire of the kaiju, it's charred after the fight in the Stag lobby scenes, and it's charred over in the scene of Superman at the fortress holding the dead robot, possibly Kellex. But it's not charred over when he's arrested or imprisoned, so that happens later. The kaiju is defeated either through the Terrifics or the return of Superman after he realizes that the fortress has been pilfered and plundered, and then he returns to a very angry Metropolis and meets up with the Terrifics to have some sort of superhero tete-a-tete. Eventually, Ultraman, who many think, like I said, is a clone of Superman, and the Authority are brought in to take down Superman himself. The duo, along with Rick Flag Sr., arrest Superman, and he is then taken into the massive complex where we see him at within the film. Why is he arrested? The general consensus is that Lex Luthor frames him for something. Lois begins investigating Lex's ties to everything that's happening, and Mr. Terrific has become swayed by Superman and sees what is happening to the Man of Steel after he's locked away, and decides to go rogue. Hence his outfit change during the scene in the camp with Lois, and I imagine he ends the film as a new hero going in the direction of Superman. Superman is taken to the metahuman prison where he meets Metamorpho. Metamorpho helps a weakened Superman escape by creating a small artificial sun to power him back up. Superman crashes out, faces threats of Luthor Corp guards, or more likely, Ultraman and or the Authority. He gets his ass kicked, but uses all of his remaining strength to escape the prison, Metamorpho possibly sacrificing himself in the meantime, and flies himself to the Arctic. Krypto is then called and takes him back to Smallville, where he recuperates with Ma and Pa Kent on the farm. Martha is probably more open to the idea of her son fighting for what's right, and while Jonathan agrees, he might be more apprehensive about losing his boy, viewing the superhero idea from a more pessimistic side than his wife does, especially after Krypto brought Clark back in the condition that we see him in. Superman eventually returns to Metropolis, reveals his identity to Lois, and the final climax of the film begins. The Kaiju, Solaris, Brainiac, Circe, whatever the hell it is, attacks Metropolis. Superman saves the day alongside a couple of the other heroes throughout the film. Lex Luthor gets off somewhat scot-free. The end. Let me know in the comments your thoughts, theories, and anything that I missed. Check out my videos on all kinds of comics, and specifically some Superman comics. And I'll see you next time. Bye.